Hi, my name is Jordan Mitchell. I will be performing two poems and one song for Burns Night. The first poem is Such a Parcel of Rogues in a Nation. Just a lovely, lovely poem. Um, as well as kind of I seem to be on the theme a little bit. So I'm doing Such a Parcel of Rogues in a Nation. I'm also doing Here's the Health to Them That's a so very military style or themed poems. And the song I'll be doing is Green Grow the Rashes.
Is this your first production with Aris, or as we all can probably surmise, you've done some things with us before, right?
I've done, let's see, this is show number or performance number 3 with, no, 4. Yeah, this is number 4 with Arish. Had my Atlanta debut with Arish in earnest.
Yay!
Yes, of course. And then in the world premiere of The Legend of Fen McCool,
Yes,
where this time my Scottish doesn't have to be quite so aggressive. Then, of course, we were just in the Panto, first ever in Atlanta, and now this one.
Is there anything that you personally feel connected with, or just any sort of special thing you get out of performing with Arish as a Celtic theater company?
Specifically as Celtic, and I mean, other than being exposed to Celtic, Irish, Gaelic, Scottish theater traditions,
which is a good thing.
It's a fantastic thing. I honestly don't know that I ever would have gotten the opportunities up in the Twin Cities to do Celtic style theater as I would here. There's actually a rather large Hispanic theater market in the Twin Cities. But then coming down here and getting to do all this fun stuff, honestly, it's less to do with the Celtic aspect and just performing.
Okay, yeah. So what do you like about just Arish as a company then?
Oh, Arish as a company is fantastic. They just have so many good people, and they are so good at casting the right people for the right parts. And I have yet to have a bad experience with any cast with Arish. I mean, obviously, you and I met through
That's
Ernest.
Right. Yeah.
Initially, and you kept up I would say a fairly steady friendship since.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, yeah. That's one of the joys of the Celts.
Just bringing people together and just having a really good experience overall.
With this particular project, the Burns Night, how familiar had you been with Robert Burns before this, and what are your impressions of him now that you're delving into some poems and songs?
Robert Burns, I feel, is in that same vein as Shakespeare, where you use him constantly and you have no idea. I saw my first Burns Night performance in 22.
Oh, the one, right after Ernest,
right after Ernest, and it was honestly my first experience directly with Robert Burns, and realizing that a lot of the phrases and songs we have currently come from him. It's just one of those lightning in a bottle type of people. It's like he will last for another 300 years.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, I will eat my hat. So really delving into a lot of his poetry and his songs. I mean, this man clearly ate, slept, and breathed poetry and art and communication and just traveling and getting to experience and putting everything he saw into words. It's phenomenal. It really is.
You mentioned earlier when you were telling us what poems you're going to be performing, you mentioned the martial or military aspect. but those two poems specifically, yes, definitely a martial era, but they're really about the whole Scottish independence and that whole we're not English sort of thing. What is it you like about that aspect?
Everyone's got something against the English. I mean, let's be honest here. And if it's not the Romans, it's the English.
Sure.
There's I don't know what it is. There's like between Ireland and Scotland, as much as they love everything, it almost pales in comparison for the disdain for the English. And it's not subtle in either poem.
No,
But at
not
the
at all.
same time, the way it's written and the rhythm that's used, it is kind of subtle. It almost sounds like a steady drummer boy march.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So like there is, I don't know, a subtle, not subtle martial.
So a little bit about yourself. When did you get into theater or realize that was your calling, and how long have you been doing it?
It's weird that I can say this. I have been acting for 25 years. I don't look like I should be able to say that. But no, I did my first play when I was 7 years old. It was one of those summer camps to get my brother and I out of the house so that my parents could have a little bit of peace during the day. And I fell in love. I mean, immediately, just being on stage and performing. And so off and on, I would do that through my formative years. And then when I got into high school, that's when it really, really took off for me.
And you've performed nationally and internationally, as I recall.
Yes, I have. Obviously, nationally, I've done a lot of stuff in the Midwest. I did a couple of summers with the Black Hills Playhouse in South Dakota. Obviously, all over the Twin Cities. And then internationally, I received some specialized music theater education with the International Performing Arts Institute. The people who run it are based here in America, but they take college students who are in musical theater or opera performance, and they'll bring them over to Germany and get the chance to work and audition and do workshops with some like really big names over there. In fact, after my first summer out there, I had the opportunity to audition for The Lion King for the part of Mufasa. And that is easily the biggest and most terrifying audition I've ever done. But obviously I didn't get the part, otherwise I'd still be in Germany. But it
was a learning opportunity, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Like other than, of course, having to learn Mufasa's part in German, most of which I can still recite because I worked it so much. Just being in that room with like I said, some of the biggest names in casting and producing over in Europe. I learned so much, and like I was only there for like 3 days to kind of go over what the audition was going to be like, and then the audition itself. But you can't walk away from an experience like that without having grown and learned at least a little bit.
Very cool. Very nice. Well, we hope that you will continue growing and learning with us Celts here at Aris Theatre, and looking forward to working with you again. And thank you so much for giving us your time tonight.
Hey, thank you so much for obviously bringing me in to do this. I'm looking forward to this.
Fantastic.
So much.